Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the first Sun is Life Power Group webinar for 2014. Glad to have all of you back. I say all of you because it must be just about all of you. This is the largest number we've ever had for a webinar. We are super, super happy to have you all here. Last year, as you probably know, we did 22 webinars. We had over 3,000 registrants, which was just fantastic. And you people keep encouraging us to do this, and so we're crazy enough. As long as you're going to encourage us to do it, we'll continue to provide this information for you. So again, it's brought to you by Power Group, our company, our consulting company, and Sun is Life, which is a division of IST Magazine. And just housekeeping notes, as always, you know, the audio transmission is one way. You can ask questions via the comment box. And we have a stellar lineup today of panelists, so I want you to feel very open to ask any questions. Now, I don't know that you want to ask any of these guys for a date. That'd be a little personal. But other than that, ask whatever questions you want. The webinar will last about 60 minutes, and actually I just lied. It won't be 60 minutes. It'll probably go over probably a good 10 minutes today because we have so much content to cover. Excuse me. There'll be a Q&A at the end, but we might even answer some of the questions as we go through. And of course, if you have to reconnect, just dial your webinar invite number. And this recording will be available. Let's see, today is Wednesday. I'm guessing, David, by Friday?
Yeah, that should be good.
Can't imagine any reason why we wouldn't be. Okay, and as a lot of you are probably this year new to the webinars, just to show you a little bit about my background, I work for a couple of little companies called CBS Records and that little company called Target, and in a background including my BA in marketing, my MBA in HR management, but most important to all of you on there, this is my 24th year in the madness of indoor tanning salons. I've seen an awful lot of tanning mom issues come and go. And Tony Brown is our director of the Sun is Life program for certification and training. Tony is not with us today that we know of. If he does jump in here, we'll reintroduce him again. But if you need certification for your employees and you want an ongoing, very, very comprehensive education program, go to sunislife.com, either on their Facebook or their website, and Tony he'll show you and tell you everything with the program. Tony is hitting all of the trade show events that are going on right now. I think I told him the other day it's been so long since he's been home that he'll go home and his own dog will bite him because they won't know who he is. But anyway, that's Tony. But here's a panelist I'd like to introduce to you, Mr. Brad Blair, the owner of Pacific Tanning in the Suffolk County, New York State area. Brad, welcome to our show.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah. Nice picture, by the way. I like the shirt and the tie and the coat.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, I was going to ask you, that wouldn't happen to be, say, like a 43 long, would it?
No.
Oh, damn it. I was looking for a new coat there. I was just going to say, gee, the price, Brad, of having you on here, of course, then you'll probably want to charge me a price. So, but anyway, Brad has 2 salons, and very successful salons, and he's got something to share with you today that is really successful as far as promotions, and that's what this whole webinar is about today, is powering up your promotions. We're going to show you examples of things, and let's go and show you the next panelist, and that's Ryan Abrial. I got that pronunciation correct, I think, Ryan?
You sure did, John.
Okay. Ryan is a manager of Sun Touch Tanning, which is in the Salt Lake City Basin and out there in Utah. Has been a manager for a fairly short time, but managed other consumer retail outlets before, and so he's really an excellent example that sometimes to get a really top-notch manager, you've got to kind of go out of the business and get somebody that maybe doesn't have a lot of tanning experience but has a lot of retail operations experience, a lot of retail management and promotional and marketing experience, and this guy has got quite a background in that. And matter of fact, I have so many questions for you today, Ryan, that Matter of fact, Ryan, you're going to be the reason we're going to be going over, so I just want you to know it's going to be your fault.
You know what? I look forward to it, John. I love to talk. I think you know that by now.
I know. Well, we both do, Ryan, so I think we're in trouble, you know. All right, so we're going to get into this here pretty quick. But, of course, I got to introduce this guy, the tech wizard, the man with the propeller head, and if you need help with web design or any of the things that are listed on the screen there. And one thing that's not listed on there is Facebook, and I'm going to bring that up in a minute and show you some really cool things. But David Farr is our tech wizard and keeps me from screwing up these webinars too bad, along with a lot of the business of our company. So let's do a poll here, though, David. Let's find out if we have owners or managers on today, and then how many salons that they represent. So, David, I'll let you take over and run those polls.
Sounds great. So the first poll, folks, is are you a manager or an owner? So please go ahead and click on the screen. We actually have a couple of people type into the questions box there. So actually, if you could, just click on the screen for this one. We might ask you to type in the questions box later, but for this one, just click on manager or owner, depending on who you are. And we will give everyone a few more seconds to cast their vote. I'll close it down in 3, 2, 1. And today, on our webinar, we have majority owners, 65% owners.
Wow.
And 35% managers.
Okay.
So that's very interesting. Excuse me, how many salons are in your tanning company? Please select one of these choices, 1 to 2, 3 to 5, or 6 or more. And go ahead and click on the screen there, folks. We'll give everyone just a few more seconds to cast their vote. We have 76% of the vote in, so you guys are very responsive here today. We appreciate that.
Good group.
And I'll close it down 3, 2, 1. Today, 79% say 1 to 2. 11% say 3 to 5. 9% say 6 or more.
Cool. All right. Well, we got a good cross-section there. And I see Jackie Johnson put a comment in there. Jackie, welcome to the webinar today. It says that you're both an owner and a manager. So I guess I want to ask you, Jackie, what do you do in your spare time? Obviously, you don't have any spare time. We understand how that goes. And let's see. One more poll, okay. Would like to know for last year, was your salon business up in 2013 versus 2012? Was it up? Was it even? Was it below? We're not going to ask any more sort of details than that.
All right, folks, you should see that on your screen right now. Ahead, even, or behind is what it says right here on the official poll here. So go ahead and just click on one of those 3 choices. We have 69% of the vote in. Just give everyone just a few more seconds here. And we'll close it down 3, 2, 1. And our attendees today say that 30% of them said they were ahead. 30% say they were even, and 41% said they were behind.
Okay. Well, I guess you know then you've got company in any one of those categories, and I really appreciate the candor. It's we can only help each other if we're honest with each other. So I do appreciate that. Okay. I'm going to get right into the meat of this, and the theme, of course, is powering up your promotions. And what I want to do is talk about some general things about promotions and why they work better than some others, but let's talk about them kind of in general. Basic rules of any promotional ads that you run. And the question you want to ask yourself is, what is the reach of any media you use? And I'll give you an example. A client called me the other day and wanted to do some outdoor advertising, an outdoor billboard. And unfortunately, the street it was on probably had about 50 cars a day going by it. So that's not reaching a lot of people. When you go to select media, think about reach. Think about how many people you're getting to. Just yesterday, a new client was asking if they should continue to spend their $1,400 and some odd dollars a year on Yellow Pages. And I'm sure some of you out there are probably choking and saying, gee, why would you do that? Well, this client had been successful for years without making a lot of changes. There are now, of course, after asking Big Mouth here, they're going to make that change. We're going to get rid of yellow pages like yesterday's newspaper. So reach is important. Remember that if the media gets folks in the door, it's done its job. And what I want to say with that is that sometimes people will run radio. And Brad, had you ever ran radio before we did this promotion?
Yeah, we've been open now 14 years, and our first year we signed almost like a 4-year contract with our local radio station. So we've been in radio, and then it's kind of changed because now everyone's got cell phones and the Pandora, and
sure.
So I think radio has changed a little bit differently, but we just started now radio again, and it's working well.
Okay. Well, we're going to get to that because the promotion you're doing is very exciting. It's one that we've done in over 300 markets across North America, and it works every time if it's set up correctly. But anyway, the point of it is, whether it's Groupon or radio or email or Facebook or whatever, if it gets people in the door, it's done its job. And I say this because sometimes people will say, well, gee, we didn't do very well in that promotion. And if they didn't get anybody in the door, I'll agree with them. But it's the old saying is that media can only get people lathered up. You still have to shave them. They've got to be shaved at the counter. So keep that in mind, that media usually are not good or bad. It's just if they can produce the traffic in the door, then you've got to take it from there. And as important as reach is, frequency is also important. How often do your customers see your brand? Now, gentlemen, the other day was telling me that he sends an email out every 90 days, whether he needs to or not. Now, I'm not trying to be funny on that. He just felt that that was as much as he should send out. Well, let's comment on that in just a second. The question about email or any offers is how compelling is your offer, what you're using? And keep in mind the number 174, because that's what research says is the number of ad impressions that us as average consumers see every single day. Whether it's in our car, it's a road sign, it's on television, it's radio, it's newspaper, and of course all over the internet and social media, it's about 174 advertising exposures. So how compelling is your offer? If you put out an email and all it has is pictures of new lotions you're carrying without some kind of call to action, without some kind of sense of urgency, you're probably not going to get the results that you want on it. So is your message for branding or traffic building? Now, in a lot of cases, especially as you're going into this side of the time of the market, that is a big question to answer. Is it branding or traffic building? Branding right now is important because you've got an awful lot of competitors out there for those indulgence dollars. You've got to make sure that people know who you are and that you're a viable alternative for them to spend those dollars on. And I guess what I also want to say is, and we'll talk about this a little bit with email, because when we talk about frequency before, how often do you put that out? Well, if it's compelling, if it's a compelling offer, you can do it more often. I think people have the belief that I can only send out 2 emails a month. Anything more than that, people are going to get tired of seeing. Believe me, a recipient of your email is going to get tired of seeing it once a month if what you put in there is not compelling, does not have a wow effect. And so that's what's important. You don't want to just do ads for the sake of doing ads. They've got to really have some kick to them. And the other thing, too, is on your promotions is what's your success expectation definition. If you think that you should get in 300 people coming in the door off an email ad, you might be disappointed. Most of the time, what you do with promotions is you're building. You're building a following, a brand, and you're building your traffic. Okay, let's talk about some of these individual ones. Email. Basic rules. Email should usually be consistent in timing. Now, it can be consistently every other week. But again, if it's not, does not have the content, it says right here, frequency of emails depends entirely on content. If the content is really killer, you can put them out every week, but you have to be very careful with that. And the other thing, too, I think people hesitate to put out emails because they feel they have to have a professional graphics designer. And yes, sometimes for our clients we do that. Sometimes we make up the emails right here in this office, and they don't always have to be pretty. They just have to be compelling. And the key, and David, I know that you'll chime in here on this because David takes care of all of our email for our clients. the subject line is critical for higher open rates. You can have the best looking email, but boy, if that subject line doesn't grab somebody, and David, I'm sure you see that all the time.
All the time, yeah. Well, I see a lot of folks that just kind of overlook the subject line and the importance of it, and focus, you know, on the content of the email, which is important, but don't even think about the subject line, which is what is going to get the person to open the email.
Yeah, I mean, it's if your subject line does not grab somebody, then your great content's not going to do you any good. We also suggest you offer reward for email opt-in and for retention. We see a lot of times, and when David's designing websites and email systems for clients, he'll look at what they currently have, and there's usually, and I know, David, you see this, that on the home page of their website, they don't even have a place on there to sign up for email, or if they do, there's no compelling reason for the person to sign up, such as a free sign up for our email club and you'll get a free tan or a free spray tan or whatever. And the price of getting people to give you their email is going up because people are getting so many emails. Now let me stop here for one quick second. I see in the comment box, David, Eddie's out there, and Eddie says that he can't hear us. Eddie, can
I contacted Eddie privately already.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, you and Eddie are buddies. All right. I love it. Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure. I just saw that right now. So if Eddie can hear us, that's good. Okay. Email content should be simple, without too many offers. Client 2 months ago sent out an email. There was 5 different offers in there, and it was definitely the case of the deer in the headlights. It was so much that the consumer didn't know what to do. So a lot of times you got to keep it simple. Make it very powerful with that wow effect, and people will react to it. Facebook, oh, this one's there's a lot to talk about with Facebook. Facebook research shows the 80-20 rule, and what that is that, and it's Facebook's own research, the Facebook user has said, and very, very dramatically, we will accept 80% of the Facebook posts to be social and 20% commercial. I should have said that differently. We'll accept that 20% of the posts of your Facebook can be commercial, because absolutely, after all, it is social media, and that's what they want to see. Because the idea is to personally connect with visitors. And so if all of your posts are a discount on a lotion or a spray tan or a UV tanning package or whatever, you're going to lose them. And I'll tell you, when we work with new clients, and David sees it, I see it all the time, you look at the Facebook and you look at the last string of Facebook posts, you look at 20 of them, and every single one of them is commercial. Now, being an old dog as I am, I'm dragged into the Facebook generation kicking and screaming. I'm just not a good user of Facebook myself personally, and I've been criticized for that, as rightfully so. I'm a real big user of all the information from AARP, but not necessarily Facebook. But I know that you have to put in personal comments in there, so you've got to personally connect with the visitors. And the best thing for tanning salons to do is assign a staff member and keep those daily interactions going, because those are the best. Ryan, in your store, in SunTouch, now do you handle all the Facebook, or do you have somebody else do it, or is that something that you personally like to handle?
As of right now, John, it's something that I prefer to handle on my own.
Yeah.
Reason being is I designed, or currently am redesigning our Facebook, and I designed our website and other promotions we do via email or text message, and I'm kind of OCD to where if I know how to do it, then I'm just going to rely on myself. I get fearful that if I hand it off, it won't be done the way I think it is. So I take care of all that, John.
Well, your Facebook, by the way, or your website is excellent. That's we'll give everybody that URL. I should have put it in there. Maybe David can put it in the chat box. But it's your URL is at suntouch.com or Suntouch Tanning.
It's suntouched.net.
Suntouched.net. If you get a chance, people, take a look at his website. He did a fabulous job it's very, very nicely done. I mean, it's one of the better websites I've seen. So, did a
Thanks,
nice
John.
job on it. Okay, so of course with Facebook you want to promote likes, and you know the best way for promoting likes is not where you're running another deal on a lotion, unless now I say that, but let me stop there for a second. Let's say that you got a deal from your distributor, and you're able to buy some lotions that are being phased out, and you can sell off those lotions, limited time only lotions for 50 or 60% off. Now that's wow content, and that would certainly get people's attention. So, you know, that's something that might make some sense. But photos and contest. In contest, we're going to get into contest here in a bit. I'm going to have David comment on a Facebook app that we have that's really a killer. Also on Facebook, you want to avoid politics. There's just no way to win. Any stance that you take, you know, it's just not worth it. You want to be very supportive of community events and causes. If there's anything that's going on with Make-A-Wish or breast cancer or whatever, you want to be very supportive of that. And of course, your Facebook posts and responses must be handled with maturity. We've had lately a couple of clients where the person that was handling Facebook for the salon did something very unprofessional in terms of their reaction to someone's political statement, and you just don't want to do that. Okay, Facebook. We usually, you know, suggest you assign a staff member, somebody that's a Facebook freak that that wants to be on there every single day, setting up a fan page and not a personal profile, of course. It needs focused attention, and what I would suggest, and if it gets to the point where, and I don't know, Brad, let me ask you, do you handle Facebook, or do you have one of your staff that handles Facebook?
I handle all my social media.
Okay.
All my
all
Facebook,
right.
I'm on it all day long.
Well, a lot of people can't do that. A lot of managers or owners don't have that kind of time, or do they have the kind of passion for Facebook? So if you've got it, that's great. I would say if you do get a Facebook freak, you might want to pay them a few bucks extra a month, and some incentive pay where you're establishing Facebook growth goals. Well, we've got so many likes, and this is the goals for the likes for this next month and the month after that, and it does work. People will respond to that. Now, I'll show you something that's interesting that just came to me for my Facebook page, because as I already told you, I'm not a Facebook freak, but I have a outside contractor that helps me with Facebook, and he came up with what's called a meme. Now, I may be mispronouncing it. It's M-E-M-E, and it's called a meme or a meme or whatever. Sounds kind of selfish, meme. But anyway, he came up with this thing, and what we use this for is if people give us a testimonial. And here's one that, and honest to God, if you read this, I didn't pay Jay. I didn't pay him any money, although, boy, for a testimonial like that, I might have paid him money. Jay, if you're on the phone, look for a check here pretty soon, buddy. But what this is this is placed on Facebook, and we're very fortunate. We have so many people that are willing to say good things as opposed to my ex-wife that won't say good things. But anyway, we have so many good things that are being said that we're going to try to put up a new meme like every other week or whatever. And we have a lady that is a graphic person that does this sort of thing. But this is kind of, I think it's kind of powerful. We'll see what happens to the likes on my own personal Facebook page. But this could be something that salons could very easily use. As you can tell, the picture is taken inside of a tanning booth. If you can get a customer to give you a testimonial about how good it was to be at your salon, you put their picture and their statement up there. You know, it's I think it's kind of powerful myself. But then, you know, okay, so let's move on here, and I want to talk about Facebook contest, and we have a new contest app. And David, if you're there, and you can talk a little bit about it.
So yeah, it's not the contest though. This is the viral coupon actually too.
Oh, okay, all right. So tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll go to viral coupon, and I'll let you talk a little bit about the Facebook viral coupon. If you could do it in about 5 minutes, because I want to move to to Ryan and Brad and share with everybody what they've got to say.
Okay, great. So I'll just take the screen from you here just for a tiny bit. And so make sure everyone can see my screen okay. I'm actually on a fictitious Facebook fan page here of a real salon, but a fictitious page just for practice and testing purposes and demonstration purposes here. But so I think you guys can see my screen okay here. So I'm actually on the Facebook fan page. This format should look familiar to everyone. I think we should all have
Hey, David, can you do this again? I must have hit the wrong button. Now I can't see it. I don't know. Can other people see it?
Well, according to my attendee view, they're seeing it.
Okay. Then.
And we're getting folks are typing in yes that they can see it just fine.
Okay. Then why is Dummy here not seeing it? What do I go to on the? Because it said. Shoot. What do I go to, David, on the? Controls here to look at it.
Well, you should be able to see if you just click on the orange flower at the bottom of your screen.
Janice said I broke it.
That happens all the time, Janice,
okay.
All the time. So
she's absolutely right.
You can actually... So yeah, if you can't see it, you can always watch your own replay later, and then you'll see it.
Okay,
later.
all right, go ahead.
So, but yeah, let's try to. Cause you got a lot of stuff to cover here after this. So
thank you, Janice. I need a little comedic break there. Go ahead.
So we have a tab here that's called an invite gate. Now, of course, it's invite gate demo, but that can be named anything you want to be named here. Just like we have likes and photos, but let's just go ahead and take a look at the invite gate here. And first, actually, yeah, let me just go ahead and click on that. So I think a lot of us are familiar with the technique of giving something to someone after they hit the like button. So actually, let me go ahead and unlike this first here. So I've already liked this page. So let's unlike it, and let's show the folks what you see if you haven't even liked the fan page yet. So what this is they're trying to get a coupon, and if they haven't liked the fan page yet, the first thing they're going to see is, hey, you got to click the like button above to reveal your coupon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on like. And what that's going to reveal now is the next step. Now it's going to say, we want your friends to look, feel good and look great. Click the button below to share with your friends, then print your 40% off coupon. So once again, I like this page, but I'm not seeing the coupon right away. Most tanning salons, they give you the coupon at this point. But we wanted to go more viral and force them to actually share this offer with more friends. So check this out, folks. When they click on Get Coupon, what happens is another page loads, and it lets them select their friends that they want to invite to this coupon offer as well. So, and for their friends to redeem this coupon, then they have to send it to X amount of friends. So in my case, I think I have it set up here they have to send it to at least 3 friends. They have to invite at least 3 friends to this coupon. And if I don't, say if I just hit cancel, there's actually an error message that will pop up. You guys can say, oh, please try again. You must invite at least 3 friends in order to receive this coupon. So if we actually just go back here, click on it again. Now, of course, we've already liked it, so we're going to see the initial, how to get the coupon offer here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that again. This time I will invite a few friends to my fictitious fan page here. And if we hit send requests, voila, just like that, now we finally see the coupon. Now I hope you folks see the difference. What most tanning salons are doing is they're letting the person get the coupon right after liking the page. We take it one step further. Not only do you have to like our page, but you have to go invite at least 3 other people to not only like our page to get this coupon, but then also for them to share it with 3 people. So you can see how just inviting one person can multiply many times over. And that's why we call this a viral coupon. What most salons do is okay when they just have to like it and then they see the coupon. That's a good way to get more likes. But this, I think, takes it to a whole new level when they actually have to invite several of their other friends. Now, the whole key is to make it a juicy enough offer that it can go viral, and it is motivating for them to send this to three of their friends or X number of friends. In the settings, you can tell it how many friends. You can make it so they have to require 10 friends to be invited, or you can make it so they only have to invite one friend. Really flexible. So Debbie's asking, how do you set up coupons on Facebook? So Debbie, that's the kind of a huge question right there. There's a lot of little details. For example, what I just showed you right there involved 4 different behind-the-scenes web pages. They're all set up on secure hosting. It's not exactly a very user-friendly thing if you're not more into the tech savviness. You have to create a Facebook app, and there's a lot of little details to that. But the good news is, there are ways of doing it. You can, go to YouTube, for example, and just research it yourself and read up on some tutorials and kind of learn it, through the School of Hard Knocks, which is how a lot of folks had to do it before we had the information nowadays. You can hire someone. All right, that's one of the offers. One of the things that we offer here as part of the Power Group. So keep that in mind. And yeah, that's basically the 2 main ways of doing it. So you can learn how to do it yourself, or you can research and find a provider that can help you out with something like this. But no matter how you do, it's a very powerful technique once it's in place, because it really can not only ramp up your likes, but you're really getting that interaction. These people are inviting their friends to go and redeem this offer.
And
So
David,
really,
you can specify how many people they have to send it to.
Yeah, yep.
The offer. And I think one of the keys here is, and you've said it a couple times, is when you're going to do this, to tell them that they've got to bring their friends in on this equation, is that, like I talked about earlier, the offer's got to be compelling. It's got to be powerful. If you said, enjoy 10% off and send this to your friends, they're going to tell you, yeah, hit the road, Jack. But if you're talking about a big enough discount or something that's really, really compelling, then, and they themselves personally want it, then they're going to send it to their friends.
Yeah, very powerful. And
Okay.
I don't see hardly any salons doing, I actually haven't seen any salons doing this method. They all do the easier method, which is to simply like for the coupon, which is okay, but I think you can all agree this is more powerful.
Yeah, you don't see them until, of course, they see this demonstration. So we have some clients that are using this right now with great success and very happy that they did it. So if you...
And Zachary just asked, yes, Zachary, they do have to like the page first. So I just unliked it. And so if I don't like the page first they're going to be prompted to like the page. That's step 1. They are forced to like the page. But then we're taking it one step further. Then they're forced to invite at least X number of friends.
David,
Paul
did
is
you
asking,
say...
how do you check their likes?
Right, right.
We're starting to do this, but checking likes and check-ins are difficult. So I'm not sure. Paula, your Facebook admin area will give you full stats on the amount of likes you have and the amount of check-ins. So I'm not sure what you're asking, Paula, unfortunately.
Well, maybe she didn't realize that or whatever.
Okay.
Just the fact that Paula asked that, she's demonstrated she knows more about Facebook than I do. So, okay. Penny asked, is this easy to set up? And just to quickly repeat, if you're real tech savvy, there's definitely some work and some research that you have to do. If you're not tech savvy, it's real easy to set up. Just contact David. There is a charge for it, but it's something that once you set it up, it'll go on forever, and it's very, very viral. And talk about expanding your universe of reach. So.
So just a few other quick questions here. I'd like to just cover really quick. We're actually getting a lot of questions here. If you guys have more questions, just email me, dave@marketmetan.com. I'll put that in the chat box for everyone. But real quick, is it a certain app we can just add to Facebook? Unfortunately, Mandy, no, it is, but it also involves your website. There's an app that has to run on your website as well to make this work. Timothy says, can clients continually unlike and like over and over again, use the coupon over and over again? Well, Timothy, there's nothing stopping them from printing the coupon over and over again on many pieces of paper, but I would assume that most salons would use their point-of-sale software to make sure that they can only redeem the offer once, which is the key there.
Yeah, and you would probably put that language in there as well, Timothy. You'd probably put that language in there, one use per individual client, whatever, just depending upon what the offer is.
So we still have more questions coming in, folks, but we do have to move on here at this point. So if you folks have any more questions, just email me, and I'll put the email address here in the chat box, and we'll send it back to John.
Okay. All right. So moving on here, we're going to. I wanted to get into the Facebook thing because Facebook, of course, is of course so compelling. I mean, everybody has to see it, so or everybody has to know about it. So let's text. Texting is a now thing for daily specials or last-minute offerings, and don't over-text. Now, just 2 years ago, text was really the hot commodity because it's something that the consumer looks at right away, and they look at it faster than email. But just be careful because texting seems to be getting a little bit out of control. You're getting people getting too many texts, and they're starting to opt out of text programs. So again, it's the general rule of you've got to have something really compelling. Text only big opportunities for value, and they're temporary opportunities. It's not something you want to text somebody that they have for the rest of the month to get this kind of offer or that offer. You can offer a reward for Text Club sign-up, but just like for your email sign-up, I would offer a reward. And also, consider the timing of your text releases. Some of the most successful text releases are the ones where they're done later in the afternoon and talking about a special between 5 and 7 in the evening or whatever. So, because you want to be texting when people are more active using their phones, and it's certainly not going to be, of course, at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. So texting is something to think about. Groupon is a subject that's always kind of controversial, and let's talk about Groupon a little bit. It can be good for traffic and for high-quality consumer exposure. Groupon got into this business before anybody else. They're still the number one. They're the 800-pound gorilla out there. They're probably easily 4 times as far as quality of list as Living Social or anybody else that's out there. But Groupon has a double edge, and you know, it's not always the perfect thing, but what really makes it good is if you use it for upsell, if you have the staff to do that. If all you're doing is the Groupon and people are bringing that in and there's no formula to upsell them, I would not suggest you do it. You don't need traffic that bad. But it's like anything else, and I talked about this earlier with any of the other media, whether it's radio. I mean, this promotion that Brad did is a killer. It's an absolute killer promotion. But he brings in all these people from this radio promotion, but if he doesn't upsell them, then he's just wasting his time. So it's important that you've got the staff, whether it's Groupon or anything else, to upsell. And, of course, the best results for Groupon, best package results we've ever seen, is a 30-day unlimited UV, level 1, by the way, and a 2 or 3 package of booth sprays. Now, you can use custom airbrush, but, of course, because of its labor intensiveness, it just gets a little crazy. I do know some people that have had success with custom airbrush, but, again, you know, you're taking that big discount Groupon wants you to take. So there's just some things that have to be considered. And I would consider your competitive position in your market. If you're all alone, just talking to a retailer this morning, and they're all alone in their market, they literally have no competition with the exception of, I think, a fitness center that has 2 entry-level beds, 2 20-minute beds. And if you're all alone that way, maybe Groupon is not the way to go. I would certainly use it from a competitive point of view because there's a good chance your competition is using it. In the beginning, is the beginning of the peak season the best for Groupon? If you've got good following, you've got people coming into your salons right now, I don't know that I would use it now, but I might use it in April or May as you get toward the end of the peak season and you want to get people in for trying to increase your market share of EFT sales. So, you know, I might consider it then. Okay, let's move on here. Here are some markets, and this is, I thought you might find this interesting. A Groupon regional, and I've been dealing with Groupon now for 3.5 years, so I know the staff, the senior executives, I know them pretty well. because we bring a lot of business to them. We've done over 300 Groupon drops in the last 3 years, so we kind of know the model, and the model is changing all the time. But these are markets that currently they're looking to do something with Groupon, and if you're in any one of these markets and you have an interest in setting something up, it doesn't necessarily have to be for this month, and it could be for April or May. But if you're interested and you have a salon or salons in any of these markets, that, by the way, is showing you the number of subscribers in each of these markets. If you're interested, you can give me a call, and I can tell you how this is set up. But as you can see, a lot of these markets have a lot of subscribers. I think there's 17 markets here, so give it a thought. Now, let's move into some killer promotions. I'm going to give a couple here, and then after I get done with that, I'm just going to show you some examples. But when I get done with that, I'm going to move into the radio promotion that Brad is here to talk to us about today. And here is a promotion that a client of ours down in Orlando has done. This is an email, and of course it became a flyer that he had inside of his salon. This is last year. So for 1 week he had a 100% lotion rebate. And this is one that has worked for a lot of different retailers. In essence, what you're doing is you're giving the money back that people are spending on the lotion toward UV tanning. And he's even got qualifiers in here. If you're a VIP member, you can redeem your bonus bucks for free upgrades. So if you're already, have an EFT, this can help you towards some free upgrades. If you're not a member, you can redeem your bonus bucks toward your enrollment fee, which, enrollment fees are kind of a controversial thing right now. If you can still get them, God bless you, because it's not as easy as it used to be, or any regular price single session. So he ran this, and it did so well that he came back and said, okay, I'm going to extend it to March 31st. And this wasn't done as any kind of a marketing ploy because he did terribly and he thought that he would just issue it again. He did extremely well in that first week and then offered it for the rest of the month of March and got a lot of people that came in for that in-store rebate. Let me just quick, let's see, can you please repeat? It says, I had to step away. Jackie said I had to step away to greet a new customer. And that's right, Jackie. These PowerPoints and these webinars are not as important as the customers, and I agree with that. You said, will this PowerPoint be available? It's to review, print. David, this will be up for replay, tomorrow, Friday?
Something like that, yep. Yeah. Like an announcement on Facebook.
Yeah, so just look for it. We'll be there. And speaking of South Beach tanning, here's another one he did. This is for Super Bowl last year. I like his little checklist over there. He did a nice design. And again, as I said, your emails can be very sophisticated. They can look like this, but they don't necessarily have to. If it's got compelling content, if it's simple to read, it's got a great call to action, good discount, whatever, it can still be very effective. Big screen TV, beer, pizza and wings, and oh yes, a dark, sexy tan. And you can see the offers that he's got down there. Did very well with that last year. He's going to do something like that again this year in all of his markets. He has 19 salons, and this guy is a fantastic promoter, does a really, really good job. Brad, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Brad, it's now going to become the Brad Blair Show, because we're going to move into what I would call a killer radio promotion. And I'll give them the premise of it first, Brad, and then I promise I will stop flapping my jaws here. But it starts with a negotiation with radio. And Brad approached me, what did we talk, Brad? Maybe a couple months ago, something like that?
Yeah, about 2.5 months, yeah.
2.5 months, okay. And I think it was from one of the webinars you were on, and you said, well, gee, maybe I've done radio before, but maybe there's a way that we can make it even better. So it starts with a negotiation with radio, and really what you're seeing here is the basics of what had to be done. And I didn't do this. I mean, I've done it over 300 times, but I turned this around and handed it to Brad. Brad ran with it and did a fabulous job. What you're doing, you're offering both a budget for on-air spots. So Brad went to them and said, okay, I can spend X amount of dollars. This is all I can spend, but I can also offer some tanning prizes. And tanning prizes cost you very little, but they have big value this time of the year. If you go to radio with this kind of a contest in July, they'll turn you down because it just doesn't make sense. But this time of the year, the perceived value of tanning is high. In essence, the listeners are told from the radio station to go to the radio station website to enter to win a tanning package contest. Now, in some markets, it's 6 months of free tanning. In other markets, it's a year of free tanning. And then radio has to on-air promote it. If radio station is going to take the promotion, they've actually got to go on the air with on-air spots that you don't pay for. Now, that's because you've already given them a carrot to begin with. You've said, okay, I'm going to spend some money with your station, but not on this promotion. And I'm also going to give you some tanning prizes that's worth some money. So the salon gets major media exposure as well as increased traffic, and it's really everybody wins. So, Brad, I'm going to shut up and tell us how this all went, how this came together.
Well, after talking with you, and the original webinar that I listened to a few months ago, it mentioned radio, and like I said in the beginning, I've done radio many, many years ago and stopped because radio's changed. And then when I heard this idea of it's more of an interaction with the guest and the client. It's not just listening to the radio. They have to take action to, go to the radio's website, which I have this ad on the radio website for 4 months. It stays in their website. The guest basically visits their website, clicks on it, and then they get to fill out a registration form. Once that registration form's filled out, they hit the submit button, and then they could print out a free week coupon. So everybody that registers for this year of tanning gets a free week, and then that brings them into the store, and then each person from there, as we greet them when they come in, we let them know that they won their week, and they can now also get an additional week for, $20, and something, a big discount. So we're upselling them there.
And Brad, you did it, by the way, you did a great job of getting the station to agree to do this for 4 months in a row. I mean, right through the heart of your tanning season. This is great exposure.
Yeah, we're locked in right with their home pages, dealing with them. I've dealt with this radio station for a little while, so we are familiar with each other, but they got this ad on their website for now 4 months total. We're going to run this 4 months, so I have my radio ad spots that are consistent like every other week out of each month, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 4 times each day, and then that'll run for 4 months straight. As of to date, checking the numbers today, 519 registered.
Wow.
And I had 174 come into the store, and 170 I upsold.
170 upsells?
Yeah, I only had 4 people that didn't buy the additional secondary week, but I have all their info, their cell phone number, their email. They'll eventually get contacted, and we're very big on all of our social media, email, texting. But this promotion right now, we're doing 100 people per day in January or so, and that's per location. So it's working. The whole interaction with the client, having the ability to possibly win a free year of tanning. And
Well,
everybody gets a week. It's a no-brainer for everybody. And the radio station loves it so much, they already want to do something next year. So.
Well, and I should throw in too, Brad, because there's going to be people out there that are going to say, well, if I enter this contest 6 times, do I get 6 weeks of free tanning?
Yeah, well, we've dealt with that. We have some people that try to print it out a couple times and come in. We have in our Salon Touch system, we use Salon Touch software, that we know each time this person comes in what they're getting. This particular package is set up in the system as the Party 105 free week of tanning. It only can be redeemed once in the Salon Touch system.
Exactly.
And then we also see the upsell of the $20 additional week. And it goes even further than that. I mean, we have so many promotions that run off one another, and bringing their friends in. So if someone brought a friend in, we give a discount on the lotion. So every person, I believe, that comes into a salon is really 5. They know 5 friends. So
how are your employees reacting to it, Brad? I mean, does this seem like it's a fairly easy upsell for them?
It's easy as long as it's pitched very simple with really 2 sentences. Your week usually is this price. this is what we're offering now. You got to have a breakdown and show the benefit for the customer. If you're not showing any benefit for the client, each time they're showing, whether it's off of this year promotion or free week promotion, you have to show a benefit for the client every time they come in. And
well,
it could
which
be
is
the special that you're running.
Which is true about our business in general.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, Susan asked a question. She said, and Susan, I didn't miss you there. Do they have to buy the second week, the day only,
No.
or during that week?
That was one thing. Usually when we have done our promotions, when they come in to redeem the initial free week, would they have to purchase the additional week right then and there? We actually changed it this round and gave them that week time to come in and give that extra additional $20 for the next week. So they do not have to purchase it the time they're redeeming it. We have that week of that free week. They have that time. If they go past the free week, then they can't get the extra week. It's kind of how we're pushing it, but everybody's getting it.
Brad, how many, and I forget because you mentioned it to me before. I mean, again, all I did is helped you with the formula how to do this. You did it all. How many spots is the radio station, the Party 105, how many free spots are they giving you? Are they going on air to promote people coming to the website for this contest?
Yeah, the free mentions is going to be a minimum of 200.
And that's over the 4 months?
Correct.
Yeah. So it's 50 a month. And, the other thing about it, Brad, is not only did you negotiate all the free mentions, all that free airtime, but the fact that you're on their homepage there, they literally get thousands of people, clicks on that homepage, people that may have not heard anything about the contest, but they come there and they see the prominence of your banner on there.
Yeah. We the way we marketed this deal, and also the payment for the radio ads, we incorporated also gift cards. So now there's a secondary part where the radio station is going to go live on the air to give away these free gift cards we gave them. We gave them 40 gift cards at $30 each. So they're going to actually go to different events, their radio station, on air.
Excellent.
And hand out these promotional cards that is being done for us.
And you know what that is, Brad? And that's what people don't understand until they really get into work with radio. I've been working with radio. This is my 44th year with radio. If you put together a partnership, a collaboration with them, they'll come to you with those additional offers. I just had one happen this morning where we did this exact same promotion that you're doing. We did it with a radio station down in Oklahoma, and it's for 2 months. It happens to be in that case. But they called me this morning to literally hand to me another promotion for my client that's costing them absolutely nothing. They're giving away a trip every week to the tropics, and my client is now going to become the sponsor of this, and my client's not paying an extra dime at all. And that's what happens with what you did with those packages you're talking about. You're forming a partnership with them, and radio will really, boy, they'll love working with you on that. I'm showing them some other artwork here. This shows the entry form as you come up, but also this next one here that you sent me, this shows the responder that goes to the consumer that says, thank you for registering to win a free year of tanning. That's what this is, isn't it, Brad?
Yeah, this is the landing page. After they click the redeem, they then can get to our site. We wanted the public and the client to have the last visual of Pacific Tanning's page and the ability to print out this flyer. So this is what they'll show either with their phone or they'll print it out and bring it to us.
Yeah, it's killer. I mean, as you go on, of course, as the months go on, the contest will probably not pull as much as it did every month, but the fact that you're getting all this exposure on their website and all of their on-air time over a 4-month period, I mean, this is, and of course, this promotion keeps your competition from coming to the station and doing the same thing.
Yep.
Well, that's great. You did a great job on it, Brad. You really did.
Thank you for the help. I appreciate it.
Well, all I did is gave you some guidelines of what we've done before. You did it all, though, my friend. I don't think I ever even talked to the radio station. I think you handled it all. So, okay, anything last word you want to tell us about that, Brad, before we move on? Because I want to get to Ryan here and some of the stuff that he's done.
No, I think that's it. It's
okay.
a great, it's a great run. It's still going, and I'm looking forward to more people coming in.
Well, the other thing too I want to compliment you on is the high percentage of upsell, because again, as I was talking about earlier, whether it's Groupon or radio or whatever, all that media can do is bring people in the door. If the media brings people in the door, if it gets people lathered up, we still have to shave them in salon.
Yeah, I mean the most important part of this whole deal, and it's the person behind the desk. I talk to many salons, throughout the country, and I have my own lotion line, and they'll be asking me some ideal questions, and I said, if that person behind the desk is not properly trained or informed of what they're supposed to either upsell, as I said before, the benefit, you're not going to do anything with the promotions that you're doing.
What, and maybe we can, David, if you're there, we can put it in the chat box. We might as well give you a plug on your lotion line. Brad, what would they go to? What URL would they go to get information on your lotion line?
BodyDecorInc.com. That's BODYDECORINC.com. Also, you can see it off of my PacificTanning-.com. That website also has the link up top.
Okay.
The Body Tan Scan app is another thing I did for the tanning industry. It's an app for the tanning industry that salons can use.
Fantastic job, Brad. And
now,
Mr. Ryan, we're going to move to you. And before I get to you to talk about specifically what you did, I'm going to give people kind of a brief primer on what I call PR promotions. And the goal with PR promotions is to max public exposure for future selling. And I say future selling because a lot of times you're going to do PR promotions that maybe you won't see a direct benefit to the salon, within the next few days, whatever. But what you're trying to do is expand the exposure of your brand. So you pick a cause for the majority of the public. So I say majority of the public because if you're really passionate about wiping out the scourge of prickly heat, you're probably not going to get a lot of people behind you. But if you're talking about causes like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, breast cancer, Make-A-Wish, pet shelters, this stuff strikes at people's emotions, and that's what you want to do, is get them emotionally involved. One of the things to do is write a press release to the community for the event promotion. And that press release, and to know how to write a press release, by the way, you can Google that, and they'll give you all kinds of suggestions on how to write one. It's not that difficult. You don't have to be a professional news forecaster to be able to write a press release. It's not that difficult. Also, you want to assume realistic expectations, and if you're going to start a PR promotion, you've got to follow through. There's nothing worse than to get right in the middle of some kind of a breast cancer cause that you're promoting and not follow through on everything that you say that you're going to do. These promotions don't have to be huge. They can be simple ones. They can be ones that are done right in salon, and you just want to start talking about them early on your Facebook, Twitter, email, whatever. And here, give you something about a simple promotion. Here's a one that we did was called the Pink Sale, and this was at one of the largest salons on the West Coast called Sunstyle out in West Hollywood. And the Pink Sale was a sale that was around breast cancer. We promoted the heck out of this. The sale did very, very well. We didn't specifically do it to just to be commercial. We gave away an awful lot of free tans, but I just wanted to show you that artwork. Or here's one that we did, and unfortunately it got cut off at the top, but this is another one we did, Sunstyle. We got together with a foundation, an animal rescue foundation in West Hollywood, and it was just a blast. It was a lot of fun. We call it the Dog Days of Summer Promotion. And if you remember earlier, I talked about Facebook. You got to connect with people, and whether it's pictures of staff or it's pictures of dogs or cats or talking about a cause, this particular email and our Facebook campaign got tremendous response. We had all kinds of people putting their dog pictures up on Facebook, and it ramps up likes. People just have a soft part of their heart for critters, and I know I do. I have 2 golden retrievers. As a matter of fact, one of them is sitting on my foot right now, keeping it very warm. So here's another one we did, and this one was very personal for me because my grandson was with the Marine Corps, and at that particular time was in Afghanistan. So this salon called Heavenly Hair Plus has got tanning, and they're also a beauty salon, whatever. And so every year now, they've done this for 6 or 7 years. They collect for 2 days. They'll do tans for $5, and it's for $5 for a session. But it's, again, they're entry-level beds. And everything that they collect, and I mean everything, because these people are very impassioned about this cause, they put together like a care package to go to the men and women serving in the Middle East. And I can tell you from my grandson's experience as he was out in what they call the doo-doo in Afghanistan, I was just shocked at what they don't get. I mean, they are deprived of everything that we just take for granted. They don't have a McDonald's they can go buy an Egg McMuffin at in the morning. So we got behind them on this promotion, and we did it with several other salons too, Tan for the Troops. And I know that President Obama is saying that we're going to be out of Afghanistan by the end of this year, and I certainly hope that that is the case, if it's the right thing to do. But you're going to have people that are going to be stationed over there, and there's a lot of things that they don't get. This is just a real good patriotic type PR promotion, and something that you can give a consideration to, such as also beaches out in Salt Lake City. This is out in your area, Ryan. They did a Tans for Cans, and all the donations went to the Utah Food Bank. It got a lot of publicity on radio, some on television as well. And for every can that you turned in, you got a free Wolf Tan. Now, out in Salt Lake, Wolf Tan is an entry-level bed. I won't go into the explanation of it, but it was labeled. They have names for their different levels, and it seems like everybody follows that. But that also was a great promotion. They had barrels in each store to get the tans or get the cans. And really, again, these are entry-level. Wolf is an entry-level bed, and people usually aren't going to be happy with staying in an entry-level bed anyway. So, and what does it cost you to give away an entry-level tan? It's very, very cheap. From the research we see, it's somewhere around 80 cents. So nothing, no big deal there, but it's nice for the community. Okay, Mr. Ryan, are you available, sir?
Yes, sir, I'm right here.
Okay, now we've been talking about PR promotions that are good for the community, and so I'd like to introduce you to Ryan Abrial, or it's, if you want to think of the angel Gabriel without the G. So you don't look like the angel Gabriel, but
I'm a little darker.
You're a little darker. Okay. Well, and in the Mideast, I guess Jesus was probably fairly dark too. You can't walk around the Mideast without wearing a hat for 33 years and stay white.
Good point, John. You're right.
Yes, that's an old Red Fox joke, and I love that one. Anyway, Ryan is the manager of Sun Touch Tanning in Utah, and if you get a chance to go to their site, it's a gorgeous salon and spa that they have there. Very, very pretty. And this guy manages this thing. Do you ever get any sleep, by the way, Ryan? Do you ever get a chance to sleep?
Ironically, John, we have 2 massage therapy rooms here, and so I tend to shack up in one of those beds if I'm here.
Aha! Okay, there's your secret. Okay, now there's a couple things I'm going to want to ask you, but I think what we're going to do first is I want to get through this promotion you did, which is very intriguing. Ryan picked a promotion for Make-A-Wish, and well, you know what? I'm going to skip the punch card for right now. This, by the way, is a display that he does in the entryway of his salon, and it's very pretty. This is kind of a lost art. You don't see a lot of this done in salons nowadays, and to me, I think it's really nice because it caters to that customer that comes in, this female customer that wants to see something classy and of quality. And then this is a copy of a coupon that he has on his website. If you go to it, you'll see it. And I just wanted to throw a couple of those things in there. But here's the one I want to talk about. These guys are playing 3-on-3 basketball. It was a huge tournament. There were 20 teams, I believe, involved. And
Yep.
Ryan, why don't you just go ahead and take it from there and tell us what you set up.
Yeah, so last year in August the 24th, to be exact, we hosted a 3 versus 3 basketball tournament called the Sun Touched Shootout, and it was sponsored by us, by our Sun Touch business, but we had the support of the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Utah. In previous work, I had developed contacts with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and so being that I wanted to make our business well known, or more known, better said, in the community, I wanted to do an event that would not just benefit us, but that can benefit the community and a charity. So I reached out to Make-A-Wish, and it was quite the coincidence that they actually were having a down year when it comes to their overall budget, meaning that they didn't have enough finances to fulfill the wishes of young children. So I thought it was a great opportunity for them and for us to work together to put some money in the funds for Make-A-Wish so they can help young children have their wishes come true. So that being said, I'm a big basketball fanatic, so I wanted to kind of put my stamp on this as well, and so that's why I chose a basketball tournament. We did it at a local park in the city of North Ogden, which is about 45 minutes north of Salt Lake City. We only have one business location, so we did this at a park about maybe 3 blocks from where our business is at, and we promoted it pretty hard for about 3 months leading up to it, starting back in, I would say, end of May, early June, and we honestly promoted it in every way possible. We used our website. I actually made a website specifically for this event. I went to local printing companies, local newspapers. I went to local radio and asked if they would be interested in donating a time slot on the radio, a small article in the upcoming issue of a magazine or a newspaper. Anything that they could donate, I was extremely grateful for. I contacted Four Seasons, Suntan Supply, 10 International, Infinity Sun.
And that's a key too, by the way, Ryan. That was a good move on your part because they gave you a lot of lotions, right? I mean, they just kind of opened up the closet and gave you a whole bunch of stuff, didn't they?
They sure did. I got about over 1,000 sample lotions. They gave me about 300 chapsticks from Infinity Sun, along with about 1,000 tan extenders, tan shimmers for spray tans. So I got a lot of donations from those vendors, and it was just really nice because with those donations, with those products, we just made little gift bags out of them, and in these gift bags we put a sample lotion, a chapstick, a business card, and a coupon for 1 free tan in any bed. Now, before making the coupon, I was going back and forth between, should we just do our level 1, which was the wolf bed, or should we just do any level? That way, we're not limiting, the possibilities of selling a bigger package instead of just settling for level 1, which, for most people, level 1 isn't going to do much for them because A, they have, fair skin, or B, they don't get any color from it. So that being said, that's why I chose to do any level bed for the coupon. So we gave out, of those 1,000 gift bags, we gave out about 900 of them, and I've been keeping the statistics about kind of how many, what the return rate is on all this. So out of the 900 gift bags, we've had 507 coupons
wow.
cashed in.
507?
Yeah,
900? Wow.
Yeah. And of those 507, 333 of them have returned for a second visit, and 300 of them have returned for a third visit or more. And it's kind of funny. Everybody who came in to cash in on the free tan, kind of like what Brad was saying, I'm very sales-minded when it comes to working with customers and my employees. So I had my employees very well trained and educated about how we're going to go about making sure these clients aren't one-time clients, but that they remain clients permanently and they come back frequently. So the funny thing is, people would come in and they would ask what kind of levels we had in beds, and we'd explain all 4 of our levels, and they always wanted the tan in the level 3, level 4, which is a nice higher end bed. And you know, short-term wise, you're thinking, man, we're giving away a free tan in a bed where we're charging $12 for a single session. But I looked at the big picture that if they like that bed, we're going to sell them a package in that bed, or we're going to sell them a month unlimited, we're going to sell them a yearly membership. So I was extremely excited for those people who wanted to tan in those higher level beds. So that's just kind of the success and return rate we received. Like you said, John, we had 20 teams. You know, I was mostly in charge of running the basketball tournament. At the same time, we were doing outdoor spa services. So we were doing spray tans for $10. We were doing full body massages, like 30 minutes for $10, chair massages for $5, facial waxing for $5. I mean, we were just really trying to not just promote the basketball and Make-A-Wish, but really promote kind of the other side of our business. We are a tanning salon. We have been for about 10 years, but we have a newly added spa, a day spa, which people are unaware of. So that's kind of why we wanted to really promote this event, to promote not just us, but also the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And just a good, you know, fun time playing basketball. And it turned out very well. You know, I mean, we gave out 900 gift bags, only 1 per person. So that kind of shows you the turnout we had the day of.
Yeah, and I think you know, the basketball tournament really, you know, you'd say, well, what does that have to do with tanning? I mean, that's just the vehicle to get the publicity. I mean, you got a lot of publicity out of this, a lot of exposure, and it was obviously very, very well organized. I think you did a great job with it. And you know, the one thing about the market you're in, because I've worked in that market for a number of years, the Salt Lake City basin there is one of the most segmented and most competitive markets in North America. I mean, you've got so many different tanning companies there, and there isn't one chain that's super dominant. I think Palm Beach might have 4 or 5 locations, whatever, but it's not like there's somebody with 25 locations. So you have to do the kinds of things you're doing to get noticed, because there's a lot of 1 and 2 salon companies there in that market. So you did a great job. I'm going to just switch gears here with you, Ryan, for a second, because there's a couple other things that you did that I thought were pretty cool. One of the things you were talking about, that you've talked about, is that you established a partnership with local high schools to spray tan their students for their plays and school dances and dance competitions. How did you go about getting that partnership with those local schools?
We going into the new school year, I pretty much got I went to each high school nearby, and even to we have a college, a university, Weber State, about 10 minutes from where we are located, and I pretty much got a list of all their upcoming competitions. I got a list of all their school plays, what the school plays are about, just to have on hand, and that way I can refer to it and see that as a guide. For example, a high school nearby, they did a theatrical play based off the West Side Story, and they wanted to have their actors look to part and look Puerto Rican, so they wanted to look tan. And so that example, I went out to the high school. I met with the play director and the principal, and we kind of signed a deal where they sent down over 110 students to get full-body spray tans, you know, on multiple occasions leading up to the play and during the week of their plays. We do bodybuilding competitions. We do cheerleading competitions. They come down to our business, or we go to them, to their school gym. We'll set up our spray tan booth. We have 3 or 4 spray tan technicians. We use Infinity Sun, like I said. We've always had great feedback about the product and solution that Infinity Sun uses. I think we're the only, that I know of, we're the only tanning salon that uses Infinity Sun. I know people use Norvell and Mystic Tan, but we just love the authenticity of Infinity Sun. So I just really, I'm the kind of guy that likes to go out and, you know, visit businesses and visit schools and just kind of.
And you know, and that initiative, Ryan, that makes all the difference in the world. And I like it because, you know, all of the bad publicity, you know, the tanning mom baloney that we've all gone through,
Yeah.
you've kind of erased some of that by taking the initiative, and you kind of in people's faces and say, okay, if you don't want to talk about UV, let's talk about spray.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, the kids that you're talking about, they'd all love to get that spray for those events. So that's fantastic. I've got to ask both you and Brad a question here. It's on our question log here. Let's see. What is key point? Okay, Peggy wants to know, and Peggy, I hope I'm quoting you correctly here. What were your key points on getting staff ready to upsell? So let me go to Brad. Brad, what is the key points? What were the key points for you for this radio promotion? Well, I guess radio promotion or any promotion, getting your staff ready to upsell.
What I do with my staff is usually we have a meeting. Our meetings are done once a month, if not twice a month, usually an hour and a half.
Good for you.
The next meeting actually is this Sunday morning. I actually now incorporated my iPad to help me do slideshows and stuff, a little more interaction and make it a little more fun. But we kind of go over the basics: lotion, customer service, packaging, EFTs, and focus on each one of those individually, you know, maybe 10, 15 minutes, then get the communication back from our staff. I think communication is huge. I have them in a text group, and they probably get annoyed so much because I text them throughout the day. Different things that I may know or think of that they should know. But it's all just training. We have a huge training book and employee manual that is always at reach if they need it. And I think training has to be done not weekly, monthly. It's daily. It's every single day. That if you have a staff that, you know, also has to be an advocate of tanning, love the tanning industry and the salon they work for, I think that's part of the, you know, focal point. But the main aspect on the radio was to what is our goal and what do we want to do with these clients coming in with the free week. We want to obviously have them stay with our store longer than, you know, that 1 week. So let's offer an additional week, something very simple to sell. The price point was very easy, and then show and, you know, the benefit for the customer. This is what you would usually pay. Now that you got the free week, you're getting a special bonus. This is what you're paying now. And it was just very easy sell. It wasn't much for the staff. And you got to make sure your staff knows the benefit for the client, not just to kind of, you don't want to sell your customers. You want to give them the opportunity of a benefit and
to buy.
Why they should get, yes. People love to purchase. Everyone loves shopping, and that's what you have to make it. You don't want to make it a selling atmosphere. You want to make it a purchasing, a buying.
That is the absolute truth. I mean, that is the absolute truth, Brad. I couldn't have said it better. I mean, we're always talking about selling and upselling, but what it comes down to, if the customer, you know, willingly wants to buy this or buy that, then you're in great shape. They're going to come back and they're going to do it again. Ryan, how do you get your staff ready for upsell?
You know, the first thing I do is I'm very picky with who I bring onto our team. I want to make sure I bring on very motivated, very self-driven, very assertive employees. You know, like Brian says, or excuse me, Brad. Sorry,
Brad.
Like Brad said.
It's okay. You should hear what his wife calls him. Go ahead.
But to kind of go along with that, you know, like Brad said, customer service is huge, and we live in an area where there's a lot of wealth that surrounds us. And I'm very forward and very direct with my employees about that. That people come in here and they have a lot of money, and with all due respect, they want to spend it, and we need to help them find out how to invest it. And so we, like Brad does, we have our monthly training meetings. We have a pretty standard procedure for sales. You know, I call it the 7 steps to a successful sale, and we go over those 7 steps every meeting to make sure we're very understanding of them. Really, from my experience in sales, John, a customer doesn't really buy the product; they first buy you as a person. So if you present yourself in a very courteous, very authentic, and respectful and energetic manner, then the chances of them buying something go up. And so I think the first thing is we want to become really good friends and develop that rapport with the customer before we even go on any subject about tanning. We just want to know how their lives are doing, that we care about them as a person, not just as a client.
Absolutely.
And secondly, I really focus on top-down selling. We always start with the highest. We always offer the best we got: lotion, service, package, EFT, membership. We always start with the highest one, and then we work our way down the list until we kind of find a happy medium for the client. If we start too low, eventually we're going to hit the bottom, and there's nothing else that we can offer them. So,
yeah, and I should say, Ryan, that obviously your tactics work. I mean, you had a Black Friday sale, which is it okay if I share with everybody the numbers on your Black Friday sale?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you had a Black Friday sale goal for this last Black Friday of $3,000, and you came in at $4,300, or roughly 30% more than what your goal was. So obviously you guys are doing a lot of things right. Let me go to the question boxes here, guys, because we got a lot of questions that we're getting. Let me see if I can read. Let's see where are your key points? Okay. This is from Giannini, and the question is, where do you start as far as, and maybe I need some clarification, Giannini. It says, where do you start, and yeah, where do you start as far as talking to them, and what was the price range for them? Price range for when he went to the schools. Okay, thanks, Giannini. So, Ryan, when you went to the schools, what kind of a price range? I suppose you were offering a discount on sprays, and what kind of a deal did you offer them?
We were. So we typically charge $30 for a full body spray tan in-house. We charge, I think, $22 for doing any external, like home parties, bridal showers, things like that. Dance competitions, we typically depends on the actual coach and the actual team. They want multiple coats, so we'll charge them about 10 to 15 per coat. Now, for the school play, for example, we actually charged them $10 per spray tan because they only wanted to get either their face and chest or legs because their costumes covered up most of their body. So they didn't need a full body, but they did maybe a 3/4. So we charged them $10, but we had a deal to where we'll discount it from 30 to 10. But on the flip side, you're going to sponsor us a full-page ad on both inside the program, and you're going to put a couple of coupons on the back cover of your program booklet. So we kind of made a trade. So we discounted them in order to get some good marketing in their theatrical play program. And I felt it was a very fair deal. They felt the same way, and we've had a lot of return rate on the coupons we put in that program. So I felt like it was a win-win for both us and the high school.
Well, speaking of win-win, there are people that would like to communicate with both of you. So both Ryan and Brad, could you put into the chat box, would you put in your email address so they can contact you with questions? Because I think you guys have stirred up an awful lot of thinking on their part today. So if you would put that in there. And then we're going to have to move on here because people do have other things to do in their lives. But I guess one thing I would like to tell you about, the next webinar will be Thursday, February 13th at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Now, the question is, what will the subject be on? And this is the first time we've ever done that. I don't have a subject nailed down yet for that webinar on the 13th. But when you do your exit poll today, if you would be so kind, it would really, really help me if you'd give us some feedback on what you'd like to see us cover. And I put some suggestions down there. Might it be marketing? Might it be salon operations, employee issues, building revenues and profits, beating back your competition? You tell us what it is that you'd like to see us cover, and we'll see if we can't fulfill what the majority is trying to give us feedback on. So, David, if you're there, if you want to just tell people about the survey, how they're supposed to, I guess, fill it out. Are you there, David?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, and I just wanted to maybe I just announce those email addresses real quick because unfortunately Ryan and Brad, their messages have only gone to us, so I don't think they have the right access to send it to everyone. So Ryan had posted this in the chat box for everyone. This is his email address. Go ahead and write this down, folks. It's suntouchedmanager@yahoo.com. So once again, that's suntouchedmanager. That's all one word at yahoo.com. And Ryan also provided his phone number, 503-686-4812. And Brad's phone number is 631-872-8808. All right, and folks, we'll be shutting down the webinar here. The post-webinar survey should pop up. And once again, really appreciate your feedback there. Thanks a lot for joining us.
And let me just say thank you to Brad. You did a great job today. I knew you would. Ryan, thank you. Oh, boy, you're an ambitious guy. And matter of fact, I'm sure there's a few people that were on this call that are going to want to know if you'd like to leave Salt Lake City area and move someplace. But
I'm thinking about it, John. I hate the snow, so.
Well, you don't want to come here. You certainly don't want to come where David is, and I don't think it'd be a lot better where Brad is at. So
I'm not a Kentucky fan, so I can't go anywhere near you guys.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're a fan of improving your business, and you've got the slide there on the screen there, if you need some help, we've consulted more than 600 salons in North America. So just go to my website. It's a free consultation, doesn't cost you anything, and sign up for that, and we'll give you some help. And we've turned an awful lot of salons around. So look for your results on the exit poll to tell us what we should do for the next webinar. David, again, thank you for your wonderful help. And people, thank you for being patient of us for going so long on this webinar. And I hope that this peak season is going to be as fantastic, and you'll get as much business as we seem to be getting snow here in this part of the country. So Brad, Ryan, thank you. David, thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good week.
Thank you so much.